felt totally violated. You know, I'd written these words and thoughts at the most desperate time in my life. Most people won't have to experience that, and it was my only way of communicating with Madeline. And for me, you know, there was absolutely no respect shown for me as a grieving mother or as a human being, or for my daughter, and it made me feel very vulnerable and small.
I rang her phone.
Yes.
And it clicked through onto her voicemail, so I heard her voice.
Yes.
And it was just like I jumped. She's picked up her voicemails, Bob. She's alive. And I was just, it was then, really.
Everybody wants to know how his texts are signed off.
He would sign them off at DC in the main.
Anything else?
Occasionally he would sign them off LOL, lots of love. Actually, until I told him it meant laugh out loud, and then he didn't sign them like that anymore.
The only person who would lawfully be able to listen to the message is the lady in question or somebody authorised on her behalf.
Possibly.
Well, I am perfectly happy to call Lady McCartney to give evidence as to whether she authorised you to listen to her voicemails.
Did you authorise Mr. Morgan to listen to your voicemail?
Never ever.
And have you ever played to Mr. Morgan or authorised him to listen to a recording of this or any other voicemail left on your messaging system?
Never.
I rather absurdly gave chase, and how I thought I was going to outrun a 20-something paparazzo while pushing a buggy, and my daughter was, calm down, Mum, calm down, don't be silly, it doesn't matter. But it mattered hugely to me that the moment I set foot outside the door, my children were being photographed again.
You know, I would often find myself, I was 21, at midnight running down a dark street on my own with 10 big men chasing me. And the fact that they had cameras in their hand meant that that was legal. But if you take away the cameras, what have you got? You've got a pack of men chasing a woman, and obviously that's a very intimidating situation to be in.
As they say, we're going to run a story about you. It's going to be very unsympathetic. We're going to make you look tawdry. They'll say this to the girl. We're going to make you look tawdry and awful and sluttish. But if you talk to us, you can make the story all positive and friendly and nice, and we'll make you look lovely, and we'll give you some money as well.
But apparently I do the same thing. I trade on my good name, and therefore there's a public interest offence in going into my private life, but I wasn't aware I traded on my good name. I mean, I've never had a good name, and it's made absolutely no difference at all. I'm the man who was arrested with a prostitute, and the film still made tons of money.